his Secret Service team tonight and all law enforcement for taking out that shooter. Joining us right now live is Tim Miller. He's a former Secret Service agent, a regular contributor here on CBS 12 News. As always, Tim, we appreciate you talking with us. Give me an idea. Obviously, a lot of people just surprised that this shooter was even able to get into this secured venue.
Yeah, that's a big question to be answered, to be honest. You know, the Secret Service operates in rings of protection, and certainly anything within the range of a rifle is a prime concern. And so there's going to be a lot of details coming out. I was very impressed by the response after the shots. But remember, again, the Secret Service's job is to be proactive and make it not happen. Now, I will tell you that they've been incredibly busy on the campaign trail. And the reality is that a former president does not get the resources that a sitting president would have. So I'm sure they're tired and stretched thin. But with that said, we train every day with the hope and prayer that what happened today is not able to happen.
You know, when you think about it, it feels like this is an impossible task to take this number of individuals to try to secure one man. That's a tough task when you look at the size and scope of what they're dealing with at some of these places, like they were in Pennsylvania today.
Well, that's exactly right. And remember, you know, a rifle's not the only threat. You can have, you know, all kinds of threats, vehicles, bombs, and the list goes on. And that's why the Secret Service is always training. And I'll tell you, they train harder than any organization. I was a Marine officer. I trained hard. I was a police officer. I trained hard. But when you went to the Secret Service, you trained all the time to protect against a variety of things. And I think you saw that training become fruitful today once those shots were fired. They were as good as it gets in terms of what we call cover and evacuate, covering the president with their own body, putting their own lives at risk, and then getting him out of there. And I got to tell you, I was blown away by the president's response to get up, have the presence of mind, to shake his fist and to demonstrate strength, because it would have been easy, you know, when you're shot, that's a horrifying experience. It would have been easy just to go with the detail who was very anxious to get him out of there and to get him into the armored vehicles.
What changes now? Obviously, this is going to, you know, people are going to be wondering if he's going to be holding any more of these types of rallies. What will change for the Secret Service and for Mr. Trump and his campaign moving forward?
Well, I think the obvious thing is that there needs to be more resources applied. You know, the president moves all over. I have been with him. He has amazing amounts of resources, which he should. But when you get a serious candidate, you also have to have serious amount of resources. And I think the biggest takeaway, to have an uncovered roof within rifle range in an uncontrolled building, Houston, that's a problem. And so I think the investigation is going to show us a lot of you know, things that need to be improved. I think kudos go to the agents today on the ground, though, around the president. They did a fantastic job, but there's some changes that need to be made.
And Tim, quickly, just kind of respond. We heard some witnesses say that they had seen the gunman well before the shooting ever took place. Why is it that the Secret Service agents didn't spot him as well?
Well, that's a great question and something to be answered. I know we often partner with our law enforcement team, and you know, sometimes we'll share coverages with SWAT teams, and I wish I had an answer. I don't. That's a big question that needs to be answered. We learned the lesson the hard way in 1963 with President Kennedy. You can't leave roofs or open windows in buildings unguarded. So that's a big takeaway.
All right, Tim, thank you, as always, for joining us tonight on CBS 12 News. We look forward to talking to you in the next few days, hopefully, as new details emerge. But again, much appreciated.
Thanks for having me.